Hey everybody, it's Chris and I'm doing another Top 5 Wednesday video, and this week's Top 5 Wednesday topic is Top 5 books that I'll probably never read, that I definitely will probably never read. um, and these aren't in any particular order, and don't hate me for some of these, I just kind of don't want to read them. And I'll explain why. But I'm going to start off with one I think I probably would get the most flack for, and that's number 5. And I'm putting two books here, but they're by the same author. And it's A Court of Thorn of Roses and Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And there's a lot of hype on these books, and basically the way I decide if I'll read a book tonight is that basically I'll just read the description and say if I like it. And I read the description of Court of Thorn of Roses, and I had literally zero interest in it. I know it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and Beauty and the Beast is not really one of my favorite stories. And it just didn't really grab me or make me want to read it. And kind of the same thing with Throne of Glass. I'm like, okay, it's another assassin story, but I don't know. I don't jump to read assassin stories, really. It's just the plot line from the summary doesn't really make me want to read it, so probably never going to pick it up. We'll see. But number 4 on my list is, okay, so number 4 on my list is 50 Shades of Grey. And yeah, I'm just not interested in reading it. I'm probably going to actually read the kind of mock version of it, 50 Shades of Grey, at some point. Maybe, if anything, I'd probably read that one before I actually read 50 Shades of Grey. Because that one just seems more interesting for me. Number 3. Number 3 is, okay, so number 3 is The Shining by Stephen King. And I know people are like, Stephen King is amazing. And I'm like, I just cannot handle horror. I don't watch horror movies. I don't play horror games very often, really at all. And I just can't do horror. So, no The Shining. Maybe I could possibly read Carrie, but definitely not The Shining. Yeah, it's just no. Number 2. Number 2, I'm just going to put Twilight, because here is the box set. My aunt got it for my sister a long time ago, and I tried reading it, and I've kind of finished the first book, but just really didn't like it enough to read the next 3 books in the series, so probably I'm not going to read them. I'm just not going to read them. And for my number 1, oh, yeah, last one, and actually probably the one I'm definitely not going to read the most, even though I didn't rank all of these, is Ender's Game for Orson Scott Card. And if you don't know something about Orson Scott Card, he has a long history of homophobia and is kind of an anti-gay extremist. In 2008, he made a statement saying that if the gays were allowed to marry, they need to we should overthrow the government because blah 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 blah. He's a homophobe. I'm not gonna spend my money buying his books. So no Ender's Game, no anything else that he's written. Pretty much it. I'm gonna put a link down to the Top 5 Wednesday group in the description box. You should go check it out. If you have any books that you don't think you're ever gonna read, or do you really just don't want to read, you should write them down in the comments. I had a lot more than 5 when I actually started thinking about this. But those were the 5 of them, just like, yeah, totally not reading them. Everything else after that was like a maybe chance, like at least a 10% chance. These ones I'm probably just not going to read. And so, yeah.